Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a very chilled out late episode of Who the Hell Asked. I am your host, Slade, and as usual, I have Byron here with me.
Hey there. Yeah, let's get started with Pokemon, shall we? Since that happened, we'll briefly go over that.
Pokemon had what is it, 17 to 18-minute long trailer,
Yeah, a
I guess,
yeah
presentation,
14,
more
14
out.
minute long trailer which had new Pokemon and one of the funniest things I've ever seen, the TM machine, because apparently they pulled a Breath of the Wild, Slade, and that
Yeah.
TMs can break.
Yeah, so that was originally the case for the series. Then with Generation 6 and 7, they made TM's infinite use as like a quality of life thing. So like you could teach more than one Pokemon the same TM. Then Generation 8, they still had infinite use TMs, and then they made these things called records
Yeah.
that you could farm called technical records.
Yep.
So that was kind of the way of balancing OP teams like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, not being on every fucking Pokemon on the team, but is making those kind of limited in a sense.
Yeah.
And now I think they're going more on that approach with
Hmm.
the TM machine, where now you have to like farm wild Pokemon and other stuff late game
Yeah, and
in order to teach Pokemon moves. It's way to continue to ensure that people play the game after the game's complete.
I
But
want to
yeah,
say
a bit of a funny name.
yeah, the technical machine.
Yeah. So that was probably the largest thing to take away from the trailer. I know that they introduced Perigoraph, which is the evolution of Girafarig from Generation 2.
Yes.
Talk about that sorely needed some form of buff.
Yeah.
So
Which
glad I finally got.
which funnily enough, that's the YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah.
Is that Pokemon.
So anybody who was not wanting to be spoiled beforehand, up too bad. Game Freak said no.
It's just
So
one Pokemon, but
feels
yeah,
bad.
we got
And
a little bit of Pokemon news, but we got a doozy of a story next, Slade.
yeah, so let us talk about Platinum CEO breaks silence on Babylon Falls closure.
That
So
is
Babylon Fall released, I think, not even a year ago. I don't even remember the release date, but it was like
about a
super
year
recent.
ago or so.
Yeah. And the game will officially end service in February 2023.
Yes. So an absolute failure of a game. Highly recommend, if you want to know more about Babylon's Fall, highly recommend you watch the Austin Eruption video on it. That man completed the game. Rest his fucking soul. But yeah, it wasn't a great games as a service, live service game. Whatever you want to call that genre. And
Yeah.
Platinum CEO Atsushi Inaba uh, commented publicly that he is, quote, sorry, extremely sorry for any disappointment it might have caused its fans. But guess
Oh
what?
yeah.
They're doubling down. They're doubling down on live service games.
Yep. It seems like, according to the CEO, that the developers themselves still want to make live service games and insist upon it. I honestly don't know whether or not that's entirely true. I imagine no game developer in their right mind would want to associate their games with live service unless, like, their shareholders or whatnot kind of force them to.
Now, I will say this in defense of Plat. Their games, what they typically are good at, which is the character action style games. Think Bayonetta.
Obviously, yeah.
Think Near. Those are like their two biggest successes. They di- Near sold really well. Bayo
Yeah.
has sold all right. Everything good, and everything in general that Platinum makes typically doesn't get more than maybe 2 million sales if it's lucky.
Which is still successful for any video game
Yeah,
franchise.
but
Right, right. It's obviously not top of the line
yeah,
like
But
multi-billion-dollar successful, but it's still successful.
yeah, but Platinum Slade is in a very funny position in that they don't own any of the IP they've worked with except literally one.
And it's the one that's flopped, Babylon's Fall.
Well, no, the Wonderful
Oh.
101.
Oh.
'Cause-
I thought Nintendo had the rights to the Wonderful 101.
No, Platinum bought out the rights to be able to do the Kickstarter fucking a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
it. But they
because
don't have the rights to Bayonetta or anything else. And they themselves were also bought out by Tencent, too. So,
yeah, so like Platinum wants to make money. Their character action games don't really make money because they're splitting the money like two ways.
they don't make
minimum.
enough money.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I get why they're going with the live service direction, but if I'm being honest, Slade, I think we're seeing the beginning of the death of Platinum games.
No, I'm totally with you there because I think the thing about Platinum games and like their typical live service is like a live service game needs to launch with an absolute metric, like, pardon my language here, fuck ton of content.
Yeah, and like
Because if it doesn't, then it's just completely flops.
yeah, look at the big live service games as a service games. Your Fortnites, your Apex Legends, your Valorants, your
Or
Overwatches.
something more comparable like Destiny
Oh yeah,
and like
Destiny.
stuff like that.
They have big teams, like stupid big team. Platinum, I know they just opened a second studio specifically for live service games, but even then, it's not that big.
Not-
It's not as
it's
big
not
as
enough.
like the juggernauts of the game, if you know what I mean, Slade.
Yeah, so overall, anyone hoping to see them change course and go back to making their single player cult classics, keep dreaming because apparently that is not going to happen
Yeah,
for them.
yeah. Like I get why they're going that direction, but you know. R.I.P.
Speaking of a change of direction, then I guess you could say it's about time that this happened. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, will be coming to Steam on October 18th.
Yes. So, as you see here, we're sharing the tweet by Nibelion, but first reported on by YouTuber Canadian Guy A. He got a funny little package from Activision, which was a pizza box, which had, as you can see on screen, Aku Aku's Steam in Pizza Shack with Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is coming to Steam October 18th, which fuck to the yeah. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
As a Crash fan who has wanted to play this game, but doesn't want to play it on Switch due to, you know, the Switch problem,
Limitations.
you could say.
Limitations.
And
And obviously, we're not getting fucking a BattleNet pass
yeah,
or
God,
whatever
no.
account.
Fuck BattleNet. But yeah, it's so good to see Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time coming to Steam soon. Where's CTR on PC? Where's Nitro Fueled? Come on,
Yeah.
Activision. But Crash 4 is still cool.
And apparently, this is not all of the Crash news. So apparently, we're going to hear a new Crash Bandicoot announcement during the Game Awards
That's
on December 8th.
yes, that's right. So on the pizza box, it says "Hungry for more." Try out our new Wumpa Pizza for $12.08. And guess what? Yeah, Game Awards. If you didn't know, I think we covered this, but if we didn't, Keeley announced like I think a month ago or so that the Game Awards will be happening in early December. Of course, late November. Get your Game Awards coverage from us, but
Yeah, we're that's probably the one thing outside of speculating fighting game rosters that we do incredibly well is talking about rigged game shows.
But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna announce for Crash.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to playing Crash 4 as well because it's the only Crash game that I haven't played
Yeah.
for very similar
Just don't go
reasons
for
too.
106% Slade if you treasure your sanity. Let me just
Yeah.
say, because
Let me just say that for some of the challenges I've done, I clearly do not treasure my own sanity.
this is like Crash 4 is a different level though. It's built different, Slade. Trust me. It's
Yeah,
built different. If you want to try it, like you're an insane man. You almost beat TTYD Impossible mode, so you're
yeah.
look,
Speaking of things that are built different and not quite built in the way we wanted it to be at first,
yeah.
CD Project Red had a few news for us in
Oh,
regards to some of the code names that they're talking about for future games.
oh yes.
So, code name Orion is the code name for the next Cyberpunk game. I guess they're going to continue the franchise due to the success of the Netflix series. And then codename Polaris is for the Witcher series.
Yeah,
So
like this came out of nowhere a few days ago, and I'm like, wait, they're fucking continuing Cyberpunk? Like, I know the games recently have done well
yeah,
because of the Netflix series. It's apparently reached over 20 million copies sold, which
yeah.
is
Honestly, the
crazy.
Netflix series saved the future of Cyberpunk, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because I felt like due to its very messy release, and then even after it's been patched out, I'm gonna be that guy. The game's barely average. It is a mediocre game, and that is with all the issues from release being fixed. So take that with what you will. We will see more Cyberpunk games coming out. So for those that are a fan of the franchise, great. You know, hopefully they come packing a better A game
Yeah.
than they did initially.
Yep. And again, we're getting a couple new Witcher games. Polaris, codename Polaris, the next installment in the Witcher series, which I think it would be what, Witcher 4? I
It'd
want to
be
say.
Witcher 4.
Yep.
That'd be correct.
And then we're gonna have Canis Major, a full-fledged Witcher game separate to the new Witcher saga. It'll be developed by an external studio, headed by experienced developers who have worked on the past Witcher
So
games.
this is a Witcher spinoff.
Yep. We're gonna have a codename
Another game.
Cyrus with a multiplayer gameplay on top of a single player experience. So,
Yeah, good name, serious.
yep, games as a service, probably. And then we have Hadar for an entirely distinct IP created from scratch within CD Project Red.
Yeah, which it's just at the beginning of the creative processes. We're probably not seeing this one for another 10 years, for being honest.
It's going to get the cyberpunk length of development.
Yeah, like I don't even think we see any trailers or anything on it for a long time.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so long story short, CD Projekt Red appears to be very busy.
Yeah.
I hope for the sake of the fans as well as our sakes that these games are not rushed to completion.
Yeah.
Because now they don't get to be the guys that stand on a ledge preaching to the rest of the gaming industry about what great Samaritans they are and how shitty practices are. Because with Cyberpunk, we know that they're hypocrites. And nobody's gonna, stand for anything they have to say this time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I kind of forgot they said that, like, I think, like, prior to Cyberpunk's release.
yeah, that was probably the biggest fall from grace I think I've ever seen a developer or like a company for
Yeah.
video games like do. Considering how much goodwill they built off the Witcher series.
Yeah. Which, from what I've heard, the Witcher games are really good. So,
Oh yeah, 3 might be one of the greatest video games of all time, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah. So,
So,
speaking of video games of all time, we have an update on the story that we covered last week. So, Slade, catch people up to speed if they missed last week's episode. What the hell went on with Overwatch 2 last week?
Okay, so we talked a lot about like a bunch of really shitty stuff like phone number requirements, and I guess that's the main thing we're gonna be talking about today. As well as a whole bunch of other shit like having to re-unlock all the previous characters from the other game, but from the first game. But let's go back to that first point. So there was a statement that was made by Active Blizzard,
Yep.
with the Overwatch team.
Hmm.
Uh, that we designed Overwatch 2 to be live service, which enables us to be responsive to a variety of player feedback. We have made the decision to remove phone number requirements for a majority of existing Overwatch players. Any Overwatch player connected to a Battle.net account, which includes all players who have played since June 9th, 2021, uh, will not have to provide a phone number to play. We are working to make this change and expect it to go live on Friday, October 7th. We will update players once it's in effect. So, long story short,
Yep.
they are removing the phone number requirement for a majority of current players, but not all players.
Yeah.
And
It's
obviously, if you are a new player to the franchise, you better have a phone.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this is one of those things where I'm like, I don't think it goes far enough.
Yeah. I think they should have removed the ban outright,
Yes.
but that's just me, I guess. But so I can say this from experience, knowing a bunch of friends who have played Overwatch 1 and are moving over to Overwatch 2. Queue times. The thumbnail will probably have a beautiful image of what the queue times were like at launch.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there were some people waiting like 40, 50,000 players deep
Oh,
in
yeah.
the queue.
I heard a horror story where this dude trying to get in, it took him over 12 hours to be connected to the fucking game.
Jesus. Imagine, because I know some people do this for releases, multiplayer and single player. You book, like, off of work, if you're able to, you book, like, a day or two off to be able to, like, get yourself, like, deep into a brand new game you've been looking forward to for a long time.
And imagine not being able to play.
Yeah. So, as Jody, the community manager, said, yeah, we want to apologize for that. We hold ourselves to a higher standard. Queue issues, login queues, server crashes, stability problems declined. There were problems with account merge. Apparently, there is a funny problem with the in-game chat in Overwatch 2 that sometimes causes players to accidentally buy items.
Oh my
I don't
god.
know how the
That-
fuck that happens.
Holy shit, that is such a terrible
That is an
problem.
absolute disaster of an issue. But yeah, so like things are looking okay for Overwatch 2, but yeah, they're working on it, but you know.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
And Slade, speaking of things that are crazy, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we?
yeah, so yesterday, and we're recording this on Friday, we got our first trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie being developed by Illumination Studios.
Yes, that's
And
right.
let me tell you, outside of a couple of things, I thought it looked really good.
Yeah. So I have on screen here Bowser, who looks incredible.
Honestly, yeah, Jack Black.
Yeah,
Let's
Jack
talk Jack
Black,
Black.
incredible performance as Bowser. Koopaling, oh no, not Koopaling. That'd be funny if they got into this movie, but I doubt it. But
Imagine.
the Koopas in the movie look good. Apparently, Illumination are able to make somewhat unique Koopas.
Yep. God forbid the Paper Mario team had those permissions revoked a long time ago.
Yeah, fucking Tanabe. But yeah, but guess what other character we saw, Slade?
Well, we saw Kamek, we
Yep.
saw Toad, we saw Luigi, we saw Mario, we saw a lot of characters.
Yeah, but we saw the fucking penguins from Mario 64.
Well, I think the Penguins have been in a lot of games
Yeah.
outside of just Mario
But
64.
like, yeah, but
But
like it's
yeah, that whole sequence at the very beginning was hilarious.
yes, it was. But yeah, you mentioned it. We saw Mario, and I'm conflicted personally on
Yeah,
on
I
on
am
Mario.
too. Let's talk about, the one thing everyone's talking about, Mario and more specifically Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
So here's the thing. I get why they didn't have Charles reprise the role.
yeah,
Because like I do think for like a casual fan, it would be grating to listen to Charles Martinet's kind of like high pitched, kind of like super excitable voice go off for like 90 plus minutes.
yeah, yeah. So
And
I get it from
that's
that
if he's
perspective.
even capable of voicing a movie that's long, which don't get me wrong, we know he voiced full sentences as Mario before,
Yeah,
but like
and
that's
he's in.
probably exhausting.
Yeah, and he's in this movie though, which is the
Yeah.
thing. He'll probably be like make some cameos.
Yeah, like a cameo or two, or like
A
possibly appearance of Wario or Waluigi or both.
background characters, but
Yeah. But no, like I said, I think that's where a lot of people are like kind of upset is like because we've heard Charles Martinet as the character for the past 3 decades.
yeah, going
It's
back.
just very jarring hearing somebody else in the role.
Yeah,
And now that we've got that out of the way, now let's talk about Chris Pratt himself.
yeah,
It just sounds kind of like it's very flat. And it doesn't sound like he's putting a lot of effort into the role outside of his normal voice.
yeah, yeah. A comparison I've seen made is like every role that like Nolan North has is basically Nolan North, or to a lesser extent Troy Baker.
Yeah.
But all three are great talents. But it's just like people expected like more Mario, I guess.
Yeah. Did you see those tweets where like people were posting footage of like the French
I
Mario
I did I did see the
seeming like
French
super
Mario.
spot on?
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are just really disappointed because again, it's hard to hear, a character that is beloved by so many,
Yeah,
that
but
has been reprised by a single individual for about 30 years.
yeah.
Then somebody else takes over. It's just not quite the same as what we're used to. But again, I feel like they had to go in this direction,
Yeah.
even though I don't think Chris Pratt is it. There's a lot of nuance there, but
Yeah.
enough about Chris Pratt. I think another thing that I find jarring about Mario and Luigi as well
Yeah.
is they have collars on like their shirts.
Yes, he does. Normally, I believe in the Mario games, it is just like a plain old red shirt,
Red,
green shirt.
yeah,
In Wario's case, a little larger yellow shirt for Waluigi, a purple shirt. Yeah, the collars is a choice, I guess.
yeah. It's just the collars is pretty interesting. So like, I don't know, like I don't think it ruins it at all, but it definitely looks very strange
Yeah,
considering everybody else is kind of like true to their actual appearances.
yeah,
But let's talk about the things we liked because I think outside of Mario himself, they nailed everything else.
yeah.
Spot on. The
Like,
visuals look incredible. Obviously, everyone's talking about Jack Black has absolutely fucking already slaughtered the role
yeah,
of
like
Bowser,
he has done an incredible job in the role as Bowser.
which we've only heard like what 3 lines from him.
Yeah, we heard a couple of lines, but he already
Yeah,
did a good
like
job.
it's crazy that you could already tell the quality for him is there, which is insane.
Yep. Toad, played by Keegan Michael Key. Good
Yeah,
job. Good job. Fits the role pretty well.
and I think the one that outside of Jack Black that impressed me the most was Kamek.
Yeah,
And
Kamek
all he had
was
was
really
that one line where he introduced Bowser.
yeah.
But even though it was so different, it felt so fitting.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was like a bit more like a gravelly, a little bit older of a voice, which
Yeah.
works for Kamek.
And you'd think it would because, like, Quebec, like, literally raised Bowser. So,
Yeah,
like, yeah, you would think he'd be, like, a bit older and
yeah,
whatnot, right?
yeah. The one thing I'm a little disappointed in, I think we barely heard Charlie Day as Luigi.
Yeah, I think we need to hear a little bit more because I know he had, like, the little, like, scream/yell thing
Yeah,
at the end there. But I would love to hear more from Charlie Day. It seems like Charlie Day is a fantastic choice for Luigi, from what
yeah,
I can see so far.
absolutely. It was like people were like Bowser. Jack Black as Bowser is great. Charlie Day as Luigi could be absolutely hilarious. Which I agree. And honestly, at least in the screenshot that I have on screen, Luigi looks good.
Oh
Better
yeah,
than Mario, IMO.
yeah, better than Mario for sure. I think Mario is the one thing they're just not getting right. They got
Now
everything
maybe
else
it was the
down,
lighting
like,
in that
perfectly.
particular scene that Mario is in,
Maybe.
but
But,
but
like, as I said, they nailed everything else.
yeah,
The
Dry
whole instance
Bones.
with
We have Dry Bones in
yes,
this.
we have Drive. I know you're
Ah,
excited for that.
yeah, like the environments look so good. Like people were like, "Wow!" when the poster dropped, uh, with the announcement of the direct for this,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was confirmed in the direct that yes, we're gonna get more. We're gonna get another trailer in the future. I missed that the first time I watched the trailer because I thought, okay, this is it. All right, cool. But no, we will be getting more trailers in the future. But time to do a little bit of theory craft.
Okay.
So Mario at the start of this scene that we have on screen here, where Toad ends up being like, "Don't touch that," because it's gonna be because that mushroom Mario is gonna touch was poisonous. Mario came out of like what appeared to be either like a pipe or like a wormhole. And my theory is that the movie is gonna start with Chris Pratt and Charlie Day dressed up as like Mario and Luigi IRL, and they're gonna somehow get isekai'd into the Mushroom Kingdom, kind of like what happened in both the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and what happened in the 1993 Mario movie. That's my theory.
I'm a little bit skeptical of that because I think they want to get away from the whole seemingly isekai thing because let's be real, even though I loved the original Mario Bros. Movie, that shit was a flop. That shit was terrible.
Yeah,
It's an absolute flop. I think they want to distance themselves as much as possible from it.
I guess, but
Even Miyamoto himself has spoken to like how much he regrets the original Super Mario Bros. Movie.
yeah,
So
but like my thinking is like this is probably gonna be the most like milk toast plot. Like it's gonna be like, oh, Mario and Luigi are here in the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser kidnapped Peach. We're gonna, and then it's gonna be like, hey, an adventure with various gags. Probably enter Donkey Kong
yeah.
Jungle at some point because we have DK and Cranky Kong.
Oh, speaking of which, there's a lot of speculation because we already know Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
Yes.
A lot of people are speculating that the Donkey Kong characters are going to be like narrators or some sort.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
My gut on that would be like maybe no, not Miyamoto. Maybe Martinet is the
yeah,
narrator. That could be his role.
yeah. With Cranky, oh, yeah, it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
But
That or like
and I
there's going.
imagine Donkey Kong being there is kind of a play into Mario's beginnings as Jumpman
Yep.
with the original title of Donkey Kong.
Yep, that would make sense. And then of course we have fucking Foreman Spike from
Yeah,
Wrecking Crew. Mario became a construction worker for a brief period of time.
and Matt.
Uh but
Yeah, but like I said, the Mario movie to me looks absolutely fantastic. It's
it
just
does.
golly, you think out of everything they absolutely need to get down, the one thing that they're missing on is Mario. They got everything else like 10 out of 10. In my
Yeah.
opinion. Honestly, 20 out of 10. I think they knocked it out of the park.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
Mario himself is just
Yeah.
they
Even
gotta do better.
even the voice actor for the King Penguin on point. But so I made a bold claim in a Discord server that we both are in. I made the bold claim that this will be the highest grossing video game movie of all time when this drops in the box offices.
That is right. And I disputed his claim because I am a firm believer that the Sonic franchise, whether we call it a publicity stunt or not, I think it was on accident that it ended up creating so much buzz and attention with that original Sonic design being so utterly horrid and vilified that by them deciding to rework it and create a lot of positive press from there was a huge factor in the success of the Sonic movies. That's why I think Sonic kind of left Pokemon in the dust,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is something that you never would have convinced me beforehand would have happened.
Yeah. Well that and I think like the Detective Pikachu movie was like based off of like a spin-off not a lot of Pokemon fans really played. So,
Yeah, but the story was like drastically different enough to
yeah.
where it's like I think that was a movie that was made for both fans and people who have never played the franchise.
Yeah.
So like I don't think the premise of Detective Pikachu had anything to do with the movie's success or failures. I think the movie was still successful, obviously.
Yeah, it was
But
successful
for
enough.
Pokemon, it's not. They're used to seeing, 20 billion units sold whenever they make a video game or something.
Yeah, like
So
buku
it
success.
not being ultra crazy successful box office is a bit of a
Yeah.
letdown for
But
them.
my point, and I'm gonna make these real quick, is that Mario is, I think, a more recognizable brand than Sonic. I
Might
don't
not
think
be the
that's
case
disputed.
anymore.
And I think Nintendo are gonna market the absolute hell out of this. Like, we're gonna be sick of seeing the Mario movie ad.
They're gonna spoil the whole damn movie.
No, I don't think they're gonna.
Before fucking the movie
I don't
comes
think.
out, with the
I don't think
exception
they're
of
gonna
some
spoil the whole
scenes.
movie because I think I already technically spoiled the movie. It's your base. It's gonna be your basic ass
That's
Mario
true.
plot.
But what I'm saying is every scene from the movie is going to be shown in a trailer before the movie comes out.
It's gonna
That's my
get close.
prediction.
But as I was gonna say, I think we're gonna be tired of seeing ads for the movie on YouTube when we're
Yeah.
watching YouTube videos. It's gonna be that like shoved in our face.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to because, again,
Yeah.
I know Mario is the Mickey Mouse of video gaming or
Yeah,
whatever.
basically.
But my counter argument to that is I think Sonic, because of the success of the two movies and whatnot, has a lot of mainstream publicity that he did not have beforehand.
That is true, and that is benefiting Frontiers. Well, hopefully that will benefit Frontiers.
I just hope Frontiers is a good game, but
Yeah,
neither here nor there.
But
You know what's really interesting is because Jack Black seems to have absolutely slaughtered it as Bowser.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see that this is the second video game adaptation in a row where the real star of the show is actually the villain.
yeah, Jim Carrey.
With Jim Carrey as Eggman, and now you got Jack Black as Bowser.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody would disagree at this point that Jack Black as Bowser is going to be the biggest draw for this movie outside of the fact that it's Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. 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 But yeah, I just think like the Mario movie, and plus Illumination recently had a really successful movie themselves, so they're riding high off of momentum from I think one of their first, if not their first, like $1 billion box office, which is insane.
Yeah.
Now let's just hope we don't get that Ubisoft Illumination crossover, please.
Yeah, Rayman.
God. No, not Rayman. It'd be the fucking Rabbids and Minions, like 89 minutes or something of like screams and memes.
That to say, oh god.
But yeah, Mario.
You know, you just spoke it into existence. We're all cursed now.
Look, I spoke LeBron James and multiverses into existence, so I spoke Persona 5 Muso into existence. So
you actually did. What the hell?
yeah. I've spoken
Right.
things into existence, so it's very possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You might have just cursed us all, Byron.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so
But yeah, that's
anyways, this has been Slade.
and this is Byron. We will see you all next week for whatever the world of gaming has to throw at us. Bye bye, everybody.